Hey, what's up everyone? So just been to the gym, bit of workout, getting really good to be fair, starting to get in the rhythm of it. I've come back to this little cute little boy, oh, little backstar, you've been a good boy, you've been a good boy. Oh. And yeah, so it's been really good, so we're taking him for a walk later. Yeah, so today's vlog, we've on the agenda salmon dish, is that right? Yeah. We do a salmon dish, go take Baxter for a walk, might fly the drone, give you a few updates on family, you know, and everything else going on, work. But yeah, enjoying it. So this video, it's going to be a little bit different to some of the others, but because if I'm honest, I've got to do some things going on in my life at the moment, and one of them is job interview. I've got Monday, so I thought I'd share a little bit of, I'll probably give you 3 tips in this video about how I'm approaching it. You know what, I'll just be honest with you, I'll let you know if I get the job and that as well, so stay tuned for that one. But until then, I think we're going to, it's my niece's birthday today, isn't it? So we're going to go spend a bit of family time with them. That'll be really nice. And obviously I've got that pump from the gym, so I'm ready for it. And Isabel's all ready. Hello? Oh yeah, really, you know what I mean, proper ready, interacting and everything. So but yeah, that's cool. So yeah, stay tuned, let's do it. Cool. So yeah, so the first point for the process, end to end, applying for a job and getting yourself in the game for it, you know what I mean, you're in that headspace, was understanding the reason for going for the job. I've gone for it because of the doors and the opportunities it will open. The driver for me going for this role was because of the stakeholder management and the specific skill sets that I'll learn with that experience. And it's something that I'm quite passionate about doing. So it'll be like business case writing, project cases for new IT solutions within the department, you know what I mean, to keep it high level and simple. And I've got some experience in that, I've got the right kind of skills for it, so I feel like I've put my hat in that ring for it. It's a good decision for me, and it feels like it's the right time. So to the first point with that, obviously it's got to be the right decision, do your research into it and all that, make sure it's within the right remit of you applying for it, you know what I mean. I'm not going to apply for a senior accountant when I've got no experience in it, so it seems like a logical choice, it's like a natural progression for me, and that's the kind of lingo I'll use in the interview. So anyway, going back to the point, is it's been about 2 or 3 years since I've applied for a job, and I mean, I've got friends, right, when I catch up for drinks and that kind of stuff, they apply for jobs all the time, even though they're comfortable in their role and not actually really looking. And I ask them why, and they say they do that because they want to keep on top, keep, you know, sharp between the ears on this kind of stuff, practice their interview techniques and things like that. And I haven't done that, I haven't touched my CV, I haven't updated it. So my first point is try and keep on top of your CV, and you don't have to go overkill. I think that's more of an extreme example with my friends, but every new skill that you learn or anything along the way, or in your current role, keep personal developments in the forefront of your mind when you have one-to-ones with your manager and things like that. So then get those skills and keep adding to your CV, so then when it does come to the point where you need to start making decisions and make a jump for a different career job, you haven't got to be running around like how I have, trying to figure out what have I done over the last 2 years in terms of skills and adding on to that. And then another point with a CV is don't just stick to the same old word template that you've got, you know. So this time around, I did my research. I obviously used Google, online search engines, for what the latest sort of template was, and I've got a little, you know, what do you get out of this? I've got a little hack for you of something I came across which was really good, but it is just for the Apple users. And Pages was really cool, so I had a general update. I've never used Pages. I clicked into it, and it's got loads of really cool modern CV templates, and it obviously gives you the flexibility to build on that. So I used one of the latest templates where it's kind of like the writing's right in the centre of the CV and the space on the left hand side, but what I've done is I've put a picture of myself on there, and then throughout that left hand side I basically like bullet pointed key skills that I learned, so like programming languages that I've learned over the years and that kind of stuff that I'm competent in, and some experience points. So a lot of the IT departments these days, or the way specific to mine, we're using scaled agile delivery mechanisms. So it's got, you know, you've got like your old school ITIL, and there a lot of it is safe delivery, which is just agile, but it obviously changes. It can have influence organisational structures and delivery meetings and different and the way of it works, basically. So some of those ceremonies, which are just basically meetings, whether it's like Scrum, daily Scrum, or PI events, that kind of stuff. And I do apologise for using specific terminology, but obviously you'll cater that to your field and put that down there. And that really, for me, it felt like it gave a general rounded picture of my experience and skills and a bit about myself. So I definitely recommend putting some time aside to look into updating your CV, different templates and that kind of stuff, and test the water with it. So that's point one, really.
Hey everyone, so we went to the party this afternoon and we were all really knackered when we got back, so we've actually fell asleep for a couple of hours. I was going to go out and try and make some different kinds of potatoes, but don't have the time now, so I think I've got the salmon cooking. I've cooked up, boiled some cauliflower and broccoli, and just for a bit of different flavour I'm going to make some cheese sauce, so just cracking on with that now. So it's all finished now, going to call everyone in and plate up.
So we've just had the meal. It was really nice, wasn't it, to be fair, Sarah?
Yeah.
Even though at the birthday party we had a few snacks and treats then as well, so it's kind of like full stomach, which ain't good really, but feel a bit grotty for it, but I don't know why I'm even saying this. What's the bloody... Yeah, so I just sat down, had the meal. The salmon was really nice, so yeah, 10 out of 10, Sarah. That's alright, isn't it? She's well happy. But yeah, so it's cool, man. Just the evening now, so I thought it'd be right, because I've just been doing it. So with my notebook, a few ideas, been prepped for the interview Monday, and I felt it's probably appropriate to just mention it at this point. So point number 2, in the process of the interview, we've got the prep for the interview. So obviously you've been successful as an applicant, you've had the feedback, and now it's a case of prepping for that interview. So in my case, it's like a competency based interview, so it'll be like, tell us of a time when you've had to work with a deadline, or managing difficult workloads, or where you've had to
Use your initiative.
Yeah, use your initiative, or something like where you've had to help a fellow colleague who's struggling, or get a senior stakeholder or stakeholder to your way of thinking, all these different things. And the thing is, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter what the question is. The way you should prep for it, or at least, I mean, I don't know, you know what I mean, but the way I'm doing it is I have what I call events or examples, and I'll have 8 to 10 examples or events in my head, and these will be basically scenarios or things that I have done that, depending on the day of the interview, I can pull from different ones. So I will memorise these different scenarios. So if it is, tell us of a time where you've had to work against a difficult deadline, or to a deadline, or manage multiple workloads, instantly I can think, well, I've got 3 different scenarios here, you know, during the interview, and then pick on a specific one. And because beforehand I've prepped on that scenario, I know that example, that event very well, I can then tailor it to that question. Very simple. And then there's a way of answering that question as well. Now, the caveat here, right, is that depending on the company, sometimes their HR, if they tell you that you're successful and it's a competency-based kind of interview, they can give you some sort of framework sometimes. So they might, on how they would expect you to answer that. In this scenario, for the company that I'm working for, they have given me a framework. It's called the STAR approach. It's basically what it stands for. It's situation, task, action, and results. So with that event, you know, I'm telling you scenarios, you tailor it to the question. So you tell them what the situation was, which is basically describing the event, the challenge that you faced, the task, which is basically explaining the objective, the end goal, what you want to try and achieve, and then the action is, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because at this point you can mention different options as well, but the action that you decided to do, and then obviously R stands for results and what was the outcome, and it can be a positive outcome, it can be potentially slightly negative, even though I wouldn't recommend it, but you could lean on if they probed to what you have learned and how you would potentially approach it in a different way next time. But obviously general rule of thumb is mostly a positive outcome and a result and lessons learned for you and obviously the people around, or depending on the event and the question. So yeah, that's why you want to do it really, and there's no harm if you really want to go overkill with it. Is you can research competency based questions online. I mean, I've just given you some examples now, so you can practice answering and using that framework. I definitely recommend it. So I mean, I do it, don't I? I think leading up to 3 days before the interview, I'll start putting some time in every day to do it, because that's just the way I like to work. There's some people I know who don't even prep for an interview, they're just so natural with it, or so confident. And it depends, you know what I mean? You can be confident and still practice. I recommend that, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now, leading up to the interview.
I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out. No, was it your plan? Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. I'm in the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I wanna remember. Oh, the sight of you brings the fight in me, makes me wanna move. Fingers down your spine, looking in my eyes, feel your hands on mine. Tonight we're freer than ever. I wanna remember. Oh, we run every endeavor. I wanna remember.
Cool. Okay, yeah, so my third and final point on this is, it's in terms of the process, this is post-interview, so congratulations, you've got the job, and it's like, where do you go from here? You know, so set yourself the challenge of what I would do within the first 30 days in role, 60 days in role, and 90 days. What kind of targets do you want to achieve? And actually in some interviews they ask you to do that. They'll ask you to present how would you approach the role. But regardless of ticking boxes and trying to be a successful candidate, saying the right kind of things, my advice to you is do this anyway, because in some roles, especially when you see, like, you know, senior professionals and that, they give you the room to do that. They trust you, and I think it's a good planning technique anyway, because you can then measure success. You can see where you are and what challenges you can face ahead. So do this, set yourself goals, 30 days, and it might just be in identify, you know, first 30 days will be identifying your stakeholders, getting the right sort of access, doing the right sort of handshakes, introductions, understanding the processes, guardrails within the department and remit within your role and responsibility, understand the racing models, which is roles of responsibility and who do you need to inform on certain things. Just getting your head round, so setting the foundations, you know, and then over 60 days you might want to start achieving some tangible objectives, setting objectives for the next 12 months. Start achieving and making, but if you do that, set those guardrails, you definitely feel that when that start date comes along, you're very confident to hit the ground running. So that's my advice, 30, 60, 90 days, and then take it long term after that. You know, when I started my current role 2 years ago, with this in mind, I'm not even like kidding. I definitely felt like I made a name for myself within my company doing that with the right stakeholders. Just hit it running, and it's worked dividends for it. So take that one away, please. Just try it. It'll be good. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap this video up. If you like the video, please give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn the notification bell on, please. I drop video every Monday, sometimes twice a week, depending on workload. But stay cool for the journey, you know, stay tuned. So we really do appreciate it. For the subscribers we have got, legends. Stay cool. See you soon.
Step on the land, I've got your hand.